Clara,
Hmm?
how was your weekend?
Oh, where do I start?
Good or bad?
Neither. It was just full. You know those weekends that feel like 3 weeks happened, but also somehow nothing happened?
Yes, the full nothing weekend. I know it well.
I did so many things. And also, I rested. And somehow, I am still tired.
That is the mystery of the weekend.
The great mystery. Welcome, everyone, to Easily Speak English. I am Clara.
And I am Max. And today we are talking about weekends.
How to describe them in English. Not just, it was good, or I relaxed.
But the real version, the full version, the version that sounds like someone who actually lived through something.
Because the weekend is not nothing. Even when nothing happens, something happens.
And today, we give you the English to say what that something is.
We post new episodes every single day on Easily Speak English. So come back tomorrow. Something is always here for you.
Let's talk about weekends.
Okay, so Monday arrives. Exactly. Monday arrives, and the first thing someone says to you is, "So, how was your weekend?"
And most people, in any language, say something completely automatic. Fine, good, quiet, nice, relaxing.
All of which mean absolutely nothing.
Nothing. They are sounds, not sentences, not real communication.
Because the person asking, they actually want to know. They are giving you a moment, an opening.
An opening, a chance, a small door into a real conversation.
And most people walk past that door, close it with, "Fine, thanks."
And then the conversation stops before it began.
So today, we learn how to walk through that door. How to turn, "How was your weekend?" into a real conversation in English.
And we start where every weekend starts, with Friday. Friday afternoon. That feeling when the week is ending.
Oh, that feeling has layers.
It does. There is relief, there is anticipation, there is sometimes just exhaustion.
Anticipation, meaning excited expectation, looking forward to something with excitement, wondering what it will be like.
And the English for that Friday feeling, I was ready to switch off.
Switch off, meaning stop working mentally, stop being in work mode, disconnect from all the pressure and responsibility of the week.
Not turn off, switch off, like a light.
A very accurate comparison. You flip a switch and you stop.
I switched off completely by Friday evening.
Or I needed to switch off. I had been on all week and I just needed the weekend.
Been on all week, meaning constantly available, always thinking, always responding, always present for work.
And when you have been on all week, switching off is not lazy. It is necessary.
Necessary, not optional, required, something you actually need.
Listeners, how do you feel on Friday afternoon? Do you switch off easily? Or does the week follow you into the weekend? Write in the comments. In English, even one sentence. We read every single one every day. Okay, the weekend itself. Let's talk about different kinds of weekends, because not all weekends are the same.
Not even close.
There is the productive weekend, the one where you get things done. You feel organized. You feel ahead of the world somehow.
Ahead of the world. I love that. Like you finished before everyone else even started.
Exactly. And the English for that weekend? I had a really productive weekend. I actually got on top of things.
Got on top of things, meaning you dealt with tasks that had been waiting. You handled things. You were in control.
Not, I finished everything. Not, I was perfect. Just, I got on top of things. manageable, human.
Then there is the opposite weekend, the completely unproductive one.
The beautiful, completely unproductive one,
Beautiful, yes.
where you do nothing, where nothing was planned and nothing was done, and it felt wonderful.
The English for that? I had a completely lazy weekend, and I needed every second of it.
Needed every second of it, meaning it was not wasted. You required that rest, that doing nothing.
Because sometimes doing nothing is the most productive thing you can do.
And saying it that way, needed every second, it removes the guilt. You are not apologizing for resting. You are explaining why it was necessary.
And that confidence, that ownership of your own rest, that is something native speakers do naturally. They do not apologize for a quiet weekend.
They describe it like it was a choice, because it was.
Clara, tell me about the best kind of weekend for you.
The best kind. For me, the best weekend has a mix.
A mix of what?
A mix of something happening and something not happening.
That is very specific and completely unclear.
Let me explain. I need one thing on the weekend. One real thing. A plan, a person, a place. Something that gives the weekend a shape.
Shape, meaning a structure, a sense of direction.
Without any shape, the weekend feels formless, like water. It just goes. And you get to Sunday evening and think, where did it go?
Where did it go? I say this every Sunday,
Everyone says this every Sunday.
but with one thing, one anchor.
One anchor. Something that holds the weekend in place. A plan, an event, a person you see. An anchor.
With one anchor, the rest of the weekend can be loose, can be spontaneous, can be lazy.
Spontaneous. Happening without planning. On the impulse of the moment. You did not plan it, it just happened.
And somehow, the spontaneous parts always become the best parts.
Always. Write in the comments, what kind of weekend person are you? Productive? Lazy? Mixed? Do you need an anchor? Or do you prefer no plan at all? Tell us. In English. We want to know.
Okay, I want to teach something very specific now.
Go ahead.
How to tell a weekend story. Because most learners describe their weekend like a list.
Oh, yes. I went to the shops, I cleaned, I watched a film, I slept.
A list, which is fine as information, but it is not a story.
A story has a moment, one specific thing that happened, one detail that makes it real.
For example, instead of I watched a film, try I ended up watching this film I had never heard of and I could not stop. I was meant to go to sleep at 10 and suddenly it was 1 in the morning.
Oh, now I want to know what film it was.
That is the point. You created curiosity.
Ended up doing something you did not plan. It happened as a result of circumstances. I ended up staying longer. I ended up ordering more food.
I was meant to. I had the intention to. I had the plan, but something changed.
I was meant to leave by 9. I was meant to eat healthy. I was meant to sleep early.
I was meant to. The 3 most honest words in the English language.
Because life is full of things we were meant to do. And the gap between what we meant to do and what we actually did, that is where all the interesting stories live.
That is where all the interesting stories live. Listeners, think of one thing from your weekend. One small, specific thing. Not a summary, a moment.
And tell it to us in the comments. Not, I had a good weekend, but one moment. One thing that happened. Even small. Even ordinary.
Because ordinary moments, told with good English, become extraordinary.
Max, can I ask you something?
Always.
Did you have a weekend recently where something went wrong? Not badly, just slightly wrong.
Yes, last weekend, actually.
Tell me.
I had a plan. A whole plan. I was going to a market. Outdoor market. I had been looking forward to it all week.
Looking forward to it. Having positive anticipation about something in the future. Excited about something coming.
All week. Genuinely excited.
And?
It rained. Completely rained. The whole morning. The market was canceled.
Oh no.
And you know what I did instead?
What?
I made soup. I put on music. I sat by the window and watched the rain and drank soup, and honestly, it was one of the best mornings of the month.
Huh. The canceled plan became the best plan.
It did. And the English for that? Sometimes the weekend surprises you.
Sometimes the weekend surprises you. That is such a good phrase.
Because we often talk about weekends like they are something we control. We planned this, we did that, we went there.
But sometimes the weekend just takes over. Something unexpected happens, and it turns out better than what you planned.
Turns out, results in, ends up being. When something turns out well, it ends better than expected.
It turned out to be exactly what I needed.
Beautiful phrase. You can say that about almost anything.
It turned out to be a great evening. It turned out to be the right decision. It turned out to be perfect, despite everything.
Despite everything. Even with all the obstacles. Even though things went wrong. Still, it was good. Listeners, has your weekend ever surprised you? Something went wrong. Something was canceled. And then, somehow, it turned out to be better. Write it in the comments. We genuinely love these stories.
One more thing before the word tour. Go ahead. Sunday evening. Oh, you felt it immediately. Everyone feels it immediately. That specific Sunday evening feeling, when the weekend is technically still happening, but you can feel Monday waiting just outside the door. Just outside the door. Like a guest who has not knocked yet, but you know they are there. Exactly. Monday is standing outside in the dark, politely waiting, not aggressively, just there. There is a word for this Sunday evening feeling. In some languages, it is deeply cultural. In English, we call it the Sunday blues. The Sunday blues, a mild sadness or low feeling that comes on Sunday evening when the weekend is ending. Blue, or feeling blue, meaning feeling a little sad, a little low, not depressed, just blue. The Sunday blues are real and incredibly common.
And knowing this has a name, knowing other people feel it too, that is somehow comforting.
Comforting, giving a sense of warmth and reassurance, like something that makes you feel a little less alone.
And the English for that feeling? I always get the Sunday blues around 6 in the evening.
Or Sunday evenings have this particular weight to them.
A particular weight. Specific to that day. That time. That exact light outside the window.
And when you can say that, when you have the English for that specific feeling, you are not just speaking English anymore.
You are expressing yourself in English, which is a completely different thing. Word tour.
Today's words, and as always on Easily Speak English, we take fewer words. We go deeper. We want you to truly own them.
Switch off. Looking forward to. Got on top of things. Anchor. Ended up. I was meant to. Turns out. Sunday blues.
Let's begin.
First, switch off. Say it slowly. Switch off.
Switch off.
Switch off means to stop working mentally,
to disconnect from pressure and responsibility, to stop being on.
I finally switched off on Friday evening.
That means Friday evening was when the week finally let go of me.
You can say, I struggle to switch off, which means I find it hard to stop thinking about work even when the working day is over. Or music helps me switch off, meaning music helps me disconnect from the pressure. And I was fully switched off, meaning completely disconnected, fully present in the weekend. So instead of saying I relaxed, say I finally switched off. More specific, more honest. Next, looking forward to. Looking forward to.
Looking forward to.
Looking forward to means having positive anticipation about something in the future, being excited about something coming.
I had been looking forward to it all week.
That sentence tells a story. Not just, I was excited, but all week, this thing was in my mind, waiting, anticipated.
You can say, I am really looking forward to the weekend. Or, I was looking forward to seeing them.
And the negative? I was not really looking forward to it. Meaning you were not excited. Maybe even dreading it a little.
Dreading. Feeling anxious or reluctant about something approaching. The opposite of looking forward to.
Next, got on top of things. Got on top of things.
Got on top of things.
This means you dealt with tasks that had been waiting. You were in control. You handled the things that needed handling.
I finally got on top of things this weekend.
Not, I finished everything. Not, I was perfect. Just on top of. Manageable. In control.
You can say, I need to get on top of my emails. Or, she is really on top of things at work. Meaning she is managing everything well.
Next, anchor. Anchor.
Anchor.
An anchor is something that holds things in place. On a boat, the anchor keeps the boat from drifting.
In a weekend, an anchor is one plan, one event, one commitment that gives the weekend a shape and a direction.
I like to have one anchor in my weekend. After that, the rest can be spontaneous.
Or, that lunch with friends was my anchor for the whole weekend. Without it, the days would have just drifted.
Drifted. Floated without direction. Moved without purpose.
A drifting weekend. Formless. No shape. It just passes without quite being experienced.
Next, ended up. Ended up.
Ended up.
Ended up means to do something you did not plan. It happened as a result of circumstances, not intention.
I ended up watching 3 episodes instead of 1.
That means I did not plan to watch 3, but one thing led to another, and there I was.
I ended up staying until midnight. I ended up ordering dessert. I ended up having a really good time, despite my expectations.
Each one unplanned, but real. Ended up gives the story the feeling of life happening, not a schedule being followed.
Next, I was meant to. I was meant to.
I was meant to.
This means I had the intention. I had the plan. But something changed. I did not do it.
I was meant to go to the gym. I was meant to call her back. I was meant to sleep early.
The 3 most relatable sentences in any language.
And the feeling, I was meant to, is not guilt exactly. It is honest acknowledgement. This was the plan. Life happened differently.
And life happening differently? That is not failure. That is just life.
Next, turns out. Turns out.
Turns out.
Turns out means the result was. It ended up being. When you discover what something became.
It turned out to be exactly what I needed.
Or, turns out the film was incredible. That means I did not expect it to be incredible. But that is what happened.
Turns out he was right. Turns out it was worth it. Turns out staying home was the best decision.
Each one, a discovery, a result that was not predicted. Turns out always has a small surprise inside it. Last one, Sunday blues.
Sunday blues.
The Sunday blues are a mild sadness or low feeling that arrives on Sunday evening when the weekend is ending. I always get the Sunday blues around 5 or 6.
That means every Sunday at that time, a small heaviness arrives. Not dramatic, just there.
You can say, the Sunday blues hit me early this week, or I was trying to ignore the Sunday blues.
Or I have learned to sit with the Sunday blues, not fight them.
Sit with, to accept a feeling without trying to remove it, to let it be there, to exist alongside it.
That is a mature and beautiful relationship with a difficult feeling.
And now you have the English for it. Today's words: switch off, looking forward to, got on top of things, anchor, ended up, I was meant to, turns out, Sunday blues. For practice, write one sentence in the comments using any of today's words.
About a real weekend, a real moment, a real feeling.
It does not have to be perfect. It just has to be real.
Because real is always more interesting than perfect.
And that is the whole lesson of today. Your weekends, even the quiet ones, even the drifting ones, even the ones where everything you were meant to do did not happen, they are full of real moments.
And real moments deserve real English.
Not, it was good. Not, I relaxed. Real English. Deep English. English that sounds like someone who actually lived through something.
Clara, last question. What are you looking forward to this weekend? Honestly, nothing specific. Nothing? Nothing planned. Which is exactly how I want it. Oh, no anchor? No anchor this time. Just 2 days. Whatever they become. And you are okay with that? More than okay. Sometimes the weekends with no plan, they turn out to be the ones you remember most. They turn out to be the ones you remember most. I love that. They surprise you. And you end up doing something you were not meant to. And it is exactly right.
Exactly right. Listeners, what are you looking forward to this weekend? Or are you like Clara? No plan, just open?
Write it in the comments. In English. Even one word. Even nothing. And we will understand completely.
Thank you for being here with us on Easily Speak English today.
We post a new episode every single day, so come back tomorrow. There is always something new waiting. Please give this video a like if it made your weekends more expressible. Share it with someone who always says, "It was good," when someone asks about their weekend.
Subscribe so you never miss a daily episode.
Take care of yourselves.
And take care of your English.
See you tomorrow.
Bye.